What do you do when your plan is not working?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you do when life is not going your way, or when things that are happening to you may not even be of your own doing? Dang, every time I feel like I'm taking a step forward, I get pushed back.
I don't know about y'all, but oftentimes, I'm like, what's around the corner? It's like I'm enjoying this a little bit too much.
And that's the mindset I hope that I never get to, where I expect negativity, because it's hard to appreciate what you have today if you are often thinking about what's bad, what's next that's gonna happen bad.
Yo, welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lex. The podcast where men can have a safe space. We on all platforms. You need to tune in, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Welcome to Melody, the podcast where men can have a safe space. Welcome to Melody. Welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lex.
On you.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's your boy Melly Mel, aka Meek Mel, aka your favorite truth teller, aka if you don't want to know, don't ask me.
It's your boy T. Roy, your neighborhood hope dealer. If you need some hope, I got something you can borrow. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow.
What it do though? It's your boy Dr. Life Coach Lace, aka NBA Old Boy, aka I'm him, aka Mr. Big Shot, aka the menace no relation to Dennis.
Let's get it. And with that being said, you see the shirt.
Hey,
You
get
see
the
the shirt.
go get the merch, man.
Get
Go
the
get
merch.
The link in
okay?
the description.
I had many of you all say, I need a shirt, I need a shirt, I need a shirt. The link is in the bio. Go click it. All right. Go get you a t-shirt.
Hoodie.
We got hoodies. Perfect time for the winter.
Sweatshirts, long
Sweatshirts.
sleeve.
Yes. Premium, regular. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
whatever you want. We got it for you. We got
Whatever
hats.
your flavor is.
No, not yet. We ain't got the hats.
Hats
yet.
on the
But
way
do
though.
that.
We
They're
working
the
on
way.
hats.
Hats on the way.
They're a lot closer than they used to be.
Got you. Okay. So yes, go ahead and get your merch. It's already there. Also, we are a few subscribers away from 1,000 on
1,000.
YouTube. All right. Hit that button, share it with your friends, let them know. Now we mentioned this. We want to let you all know we're not doing this for necessarily for popularity, but we
Right.
are trying to hit certain milestones in this whole thing we call podcasting. So we're trying to hit 1,000 on subscribers on YouTube. So make sure you share and you hit that button there too.
Hit the button.
Hit
Rex.
the button.
What
Hey,
up?
Life been going on.
What
bro.
up? What
Yeah,
up?
man, the year almost over, yo.
And
Like,
that-
for
That's
real.
crazy.
Bro, that's crazy.
The year's
That's
a
crazy.
wrap.
That's crazy. I said in January, I said before you know it's gonna be end of the year, and look
Yeah,
where
we
we are.
here.
Right now.
It's November.
It's November. That is so crazy. And this year has been a roller coaster. It has been some ups and some downs. There's some things to celebrate.
Yep.
Shout out to my boy, my best friend, Chris Johnson. He lost his grandmother 1 week, and the next week he lost his dad.
Mm,
And he ended up having to do the funeral for both of them joints in the same day.
that's
Wow.
tough.
It's a
Wow.
tough time, man.
Yeah.
So for those people who have lost people, condolences to you all.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this year has been
A lot of loss this year.
it's a lot of loss this year.
loss.
Yeah, man.
But there is a way.
There is a way. There is a way. And
As the old folks would say, you got to build your hopes on things,
things
eternal.
eternal.
You feel me? We ain't gonna be here all the time.
Hey.
That's my joint.
Build your hopes on things eternal.
They sang that joint at my wife's grandmother's funeral, and bruh, I shed a tear.
I'm telling you. It's real spill. It's amazing though, not to shift topics, but how them old hymns be hitting different.
They hit different.
Now that you living in it, I ain't gonna hold you. It's starting to make sense.
They be
It's
hitting
starting to,
different.
It's starting to make sense
They be
with the
hitting
stuff that my grandma and them
different.
used to be saying, bro. When you say you start turning into your parents, you like, I
Yeah.
never thought that I'd be saying some of the stuff that I be saying now.
Yeah, bro.
Thinking what I'm thinking, like when life
Hey.
starts smack you in the face, bro, you like, it all makes sense.
It all makes sense.
And you start just pulling from, like you said, that repository of stuff you used to hear your
Yeah.
grandparents say or your parents say. You like, bro, I get it now.
I get it.
I
now.
understand now.
Yeah.
I used to hate them songs back in the day, but for some strange reason, you hear them over and over and over again. They are in that memory, and you can't get them out. And you
Hey.
just be singing them randomly.
Hey.
And then if you sing it at a time when you need to hear that joint, hey, Shabba. Lace is stupid. Lace is
Hey.
stupid, bro. Lace is stupid. He do one worship night.
That's it.
He do one worship
That's
night.
it.
Hey.
And that's what set him off.
Hey, you never know. You never know. That thing will jump on you.
Lace, you actually mentioned, I think it was early this year, late last year. You was like, "Yo, I am growing. I am intentionally growing
Growing in my
closer
spirit,
to the
yep.
Lord.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Even
That's what
being
it's about.
intentional about it.
And how has that been for you?
Oh, for me, it's been good. It's, like you said, it's an intentionality. So making sure I'm getting in my word, making sure I'm doing things that remind me of the source, and so I don't get out of my. I can get out of my own way and allow Him to do His thing and walk in His will and purpose for my life. So that's really what it is. And when you do that, it allows certain doors to open that you never thought could open, and it just takes a lot of stress, anxiety, burdens away. You know what I mean? So, hey, when you walking in your shando, you gotta walk in your shando. Guy.
Sometimes Lace be pissing me off, bro.
What?
Lace be pissing me off. Because I'm like, it's real, but he playing with it.
Not.
It's real, but
You can't
he
play with that
it.
thing, man. You can't play with it. Can't play with it.
It'll jump on you.
It'll jump on you.
It'll jump on you.
It'll jump on you, man. Yeah, you never know, man. Life has so many twists and turns. This year that have been, I don't know about y'all, but oftentimes like, I'm like, what's around the corner?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm enjoying this a little bit too much. I said to my wife last night, I said, why do you think we have been, because me and her, we've been vibing really well. Last night, I was like, why do you think we've been vibing really well? She said, why'd you have to bring it up?
Now you gonna trick up the money. Now you gonna trick up the money.
Why'd you have to bring it up? I was like, you know what? You right. Let's just keep on riding the wave. We don't have to talk about it. We'll have to figure something out.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting though, because you want to know a why about something that's naturally happening
Instead of just appreciating.
instead of just rolling, like you said, rolling with it. Why does it have to be a why?
I think because you're trying, and I don't want to speak for Troy, but I think you're trying to figure out what did I do differently to get me here so that I can keep doing the same thing.
Right. And I guarantee it's probably just mindset and being an intentionality in how you approach engagement, and you're being mindful of, etc. I mean, it's probably not a lot of things that you're doing different.
Well, I will say this. Somebody left a comment on one of our previous videos, and they were talking about how they have gotten to a point of where they know that their significant other, I don't know if it was a wife or girlfriend, whatever, but they were saying like, we are not intentionally trying to attack one another. Like we treat each other with, I know this person has good intentions.
Right. Yeah.
And if we miss one another, it might just be because we may not have full understanding.
Sure.
We may not be able to comprehend what the other person is saying. We may not have all the information that is going on into our mind at that moment. And so it gives them an opportunity to try to be patient with that individual so they can all be on the same page.
And all that getting.
Gain understanding.
Hey man, life definitely been life has been lifing this year, I think, for everybody. I think the more I talk to people, the more I hear what other people are going through. Sure. And I'm just like, dang, it's happening to everybody.
Yeah.
Like earlier this year, going through stuff like with the job, like getting laid off and stuff like that, kind of feeling like, dang, every time I feel like I'm taking a step forward, I get pushed back. Or, something happened to me and I'm sitting there like, all right, because we talk about me being like isolated all the time, you start feeling like it's only happening to you, or like you by yourself. And then once I get out and start talking to other people, I'm like, dang, it's happening to everybody. Like everybody dealing with something. And everybody has something going on, but it hasn't been like to the level of which I feel like everybody is dealing with something like right now. It feels like everybody is dealing with something heavy. Like then, of course everyone has a couple inconveniences here and there, but just like the stuff that people have been dealing with this year, just like everybody got something going on. So then you sitting there sometimes like, well, I don't even want to talk about what I got going on because I know you dealing with. So as soon as you think your situation is bad, you hear about someone who lost a grandmother and a father
within the same month.
And, you know what I'm saying? So then you like, all right, my little situation ain't that bad, or something like that.
Right.
So it's like just a year. Like life been lifing, bro. It's like anxiety up, stress up, worry up on just people in general. The more I talk to people, it's like those are kind of like the common themes: fear, anxiety, worry, and stuff like that. Because life is just like what's around the corner. Like for you, it's like I'm having too good of a time, so what's around the corner? And other people like, I've been having such a bad
bad time. I
time.
need
What
a
is
good
around the
time.
corner?
What is around the corner?
I don't
Yeah.
even know if it's a good time.
Hey,
It's like,
the corner
now-
there.
It's like
You
now
can- the
what-
corner is there.
It's
You
gonna
know?
get
the
It's
corner
like-
is there.
You know, it's like now what? It's like
Mhm.
now, what could be coming next. You
Yeah.
know, you kind of feel like, all right, the one bad thing after bad thing after bad thing, you don't want to get into the space where you just start to expect negativity or bad stuff, to happen to you. So
And that's the mindset I hope that I never get to, where I expect negativity, because I know a lot of people navigate that and deal with it, but it's just like it's hard to appreciate what you have today if you are often thinking about what's next that's going to happen bad
mhm.
to me or to those around me, etc. So I know it happens, but it's just an interesting space to be in.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what that is, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I've had that type of mentality, like growing up as a kid. I'm not sure about y'all, but like when I was a kid, I used to fear death.
Mm.
I have no idea why.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily have that death now. I know I know it's going to happen, but like when I was a kid, I was always afraid and of stuff like that. I remember very distinctly. Like I got the Snoop Dogg Doggy Style album.
Mm-hmm.
I remember distinctly, and he said, "What you trying to do? You trying to be some gentlemen? We can get into some gangsters." You know what I'm saying? And they started shooting at each other on the album, and I was like, "Is this gonna be my fate?" I don't know why I thought me listening to the Snoop album, like what was happening in a skit
Yeah.
was potentially going to be
What
real
happened to
life.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, but I think too, like for me, you talk about the level of intentionality. I've tried to be more intentional about what I see, what I hear, and what I say, and I think that has helped me stay away from some of those things in which I'm listening to an album like, dang, I'm gonna get shot up at the club. You know what I'm saying? So now, I mean, it's a loose comparison, but that we have to be mindful of that. What we visualize, what we hear, and what we say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we get into that real talk today. Basically, from the lens of just like, what do you do when your plan is not working?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do when life is not going your way, or when things that are happening to you may not even be of your own doing, or your own fault, but you're left to deal with it. So basically the premise, obviously that conversation, I was recently let go again, for the second time this year, which has been crazy, to be just, for those that don't know, I work in the marketing field, been in there for 15 years. That's just pretty much most of my career has been, marketing or whatever. And it's always been just a volatile industry. It's like it's up and down. When the economy is good, marketers, we can find jobs easy. And most times we get overpaid, during that time because everybody's excited to spend money. But when there's fear of recession or when the companies aren't doing as well, we the first people to go as well. And with like AI disrupting the industry and how everything is changing, a lot of companies starting to feel like I don't need as many people to be able to, do outputs and stuff. So then they start picking and choosing, yeah, just being in that situation again obviously was real frustrating, for me because it hasn't been of my own accord. It's not like I'm a bad employee or I'm insubordinate or anything like that. It's just the nature of the economy, nature of the beast. So it's just one of them situations like, what do you do when your plan isn't working? When you think you have one thing in place and then something happens to you, especially just with some other things that have been happening to me this year just around, that has kind of just made it even, more disheartening because, when other stuff is going on negatively around you, so you start to be like, well, at least I got this or at least I got that. But then when the at least gets taken away too, you just start feeling like, all right, dang, like not what's around the corner, like all right, like what's next now, like so yeah, that's life been happening to everybody. I'm in that another space of transition where trying to figure out what's next. For me, what do I need to do? Is that make a pivot? Is that go into business for myself? Is that a whole bunch of different things to figure out right now? But it's definitely been like one of them years where I'm like, if I never hear 2025 again,
you'll be good.
I'll be good. I'm like looking to next year in hopes that obviously it will be a better year just in general. So it's the timing. You know how something that happens to you and the timing is just bad. Like you already getting the bad news, but then the timing of what you're dealing with is like worse. And who trying to be laid off before the holiday?
Before the
like
holidays.
right before the, you know what I'm saying, like right before the holiday or different things, you know what I'm saying, going on. So it's just you know, at first I think since I've had time to obviously sit in it or whatever, I'm not as frantic, you know, worried or things like that. But originally I kind of was like having this panic, you know, situation because it was just, you know, random let go, random day, you know, no severance, no back pay, no nothing. Just like, all right, you know, appreciate you, you know, send you on your way type of thing. So it was just in a moment like, all right, you know, I probably would have been able to take it better if there was some type of severance attached to it. But it was kind of just like, all right, you figure it out. Appreciate your service type of thing. So, you know, I pride myself on providing. You know, we talk about that all the time, like how much stock I put into and provide a provision and stuff like that. And obviously provision comes in many different shapes and forms, but money is one of the primary ones, you know. So when I felt like that was taken away from me, immediately I was kind of just like, not like, who am I? But it put me in a funk like, all right, how am I preaching provision and I don't even have in this moment that was taken away from me, you know, type of thing. So I just, over the last couple of weeks or whatever, I've had time to sit with it, you know, like think about it, sit with myself. And I realized like, you know, God is doing something with me, whatever it is. He ain't said it, I don't know yet, but continuing to walk through it. And I'm not as anxious, you know, or worried or anything like that as I was previously. I actually realized I haven't been stressed at all, you know, since I got,
really,
you know,
what do you mean?
Which is wild.
What? Which is funny because leading up to that point, you had been talking about stress and anxiety and being on shrooms that Lace gave you and sold you.
They are organic vitamins.
You started
organic vitamins.
You started working out, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you started, you know, being more cautious of things that you were eating because of those type of situations. And because you felt stressed out. And then on the other side, you're less stressed.
Yeah. So it's I was stressed at work for, you know, like a lot of reasons, like what I'm saying right now, trying to keep up pace with the change. Like when I say the industry has completely changed, like almost everything, I'm not gonna say everything, but 80% of everything that we've learned as marketers in the last 10 years has changed.
Sure.
Like with just the introduction of AI in general, like learning that concept, trying to figure out how to apply it to whatever it is that you got going on, how fast things are moving in that space, how quickly businesses are expecting you to be able to pivot, catch up, change so that they can stay, you know, ahead and different things like that, while also at the same time, everyone's cutting their budgets. So then you have less resources to try to work, but you have high expectations. So being in a pressure situation on a consistent basis without resources, without help, in an unfamiliar place where you're trying to figure out the pieces, where you would usually have confidence to be like, all right, I know to do this, this, and this because of this issue. Whereas now it's like, well, I've never seen this before. This is unfamiliar. I have less people to work with. I have less budget to work with and different things. So it's like, how am I going to make something happen? And you're grading me, judging me by these, you know, metrics and stuff like that, where I'm already at a disadvantage to meet, you know, anyway. So then you start to feel pressured and stressed, like, well, if I don't meet the expectation, then I won't have a job. I won't be able to provide or I won't be able to do whatever. So the stress comes from like all of that working together. Like you trying to figure it out, but also like the consequences of if I don't figure out kind of, you know, weigh on you. But then you also feel like you're constantly having to defend everything that you're doing. So the conversations with leadership or whatever are less about the impact of what's happening, where you more so feel like it's them against me, because now I feel like I have to defend myself and my work outputs every time I go into a meeting. So you start to get anxious. And I was realizing that most of the days that I were anxious were on the days that I had meetings. So like Monday and Wednesday, my body would just wake up anxious. Well, I'd be like, oh, I got that meeting today. I got to look, you know, so you feel like you anticipating the meeting the whole day or whatever. But then on the days I didn't, I was fine. Like, you know, like I was fine. So just like the stress of everything, and I think the PTSD of getting laid off earlier in the year, being in the same situation, like, all right, well, I see how things are kind of going. They had done some other layoffs with other people. So I'm like, I just left that, now I'm in this. So then you carrying that looming feeling of like, well, I just got laid off. So that's why I started doing everything else, like the organic supplements that Lace provided me, and working out, different things like that, like trying to address it, was ultimately because I was worried about losing the job or whatever, and then to lose it and be fine. I was like I haven't been stressed at all. Like the first couple of days, obviously I was angry just because of the situation. Because when it's like breaking up. I don't want you to break up with me, but I want to break up with you. I want to leave on my own terms. I don't want you to push me out, type of thing. So if it was me making the decision, I would have probably felt way better about it than someone else kind of just, passing it to me. So the first couple of days, I think I was just upset, like just more so angry about the situation than anything. And then just not having like that next step in place. You know what I'm talking about? Because I had a plan in my head already of how the next like few months, whatever, we're gonna go, and for that to be disrupted, and I didn't at the time have like a plan B or something like that. Initially, I was just like, all right, I'm like, but the last couple weeks I've been chilling. I've been sleeping pretty well, and everything. So.
You actually are getting a full night's rest?
I'm not getting a full night's rest because I still have a bad habit of staying up late. But I still got to get up early to get the kids ready for the day, get Maya to school and stuff like that. So I still be up at like 5 every day, even though I'm not going to the office or nothing like that.
I dig it. So what does the pivot look like for you? Like, what is kind of, now that you've had some time to sit in it, refresh, think, like, I know you mentioned consulting potentially, but like knowing that the industry is what it is, what have you come up with as far as kind of your next?
Man, I was going back and forth, hard about it. Talking to my dad, talking to Sharita about the situation, just like, feeling like maybe, just the marketing industry as a whole is not necessarily for me anymore. Like the things that used to excite me about it, it's not as exciting. Trying to better pivot myself, just based on some of the skills and stuff that I had that I've accumulated. I think the difficult part is that a lot of people don't understand or get to talk about is like the more you elevate, the further away you get from doing the day-to-day. The further you get away from being able to do the skill of the work. So because I had got to a point where I was working through people instead of doing the actual work, when you're not using it, you lose it type of thing. So now a lot of the positions, they're looking for strategists and managers, but also doers at the same time. And I'm just not a doer no more. Like I'm not in that space where I can be in the weeds. Like my mind has changed. A lot of my skill set has changed. So as far as,
I don't want to delegate. There was an episode in which he was saying, "I'm a master delegator."
No, you're a master delegator. No,
what to do and this, that, and the third.
You do it. Your master delegation is a different way.
It is different.
It's different.
It's way different.
It's different. It's different. It's more like some lackey stuff. Like. Your delegation more like some lackey stuff. Like, hey man, go. That's how your joint. That's how yours feel. It's more like, man. Hey,
Melvin's delegation is more like teamwork
in the scope of the
like
role.
How we working together. Yours is more like, hey, I don't want to
be bothered with that. So. Exactly. I don't want to be bothered with that. So let me figure out a way to get you. You know what I'm saying, to do it.
But I will, to Lace's credit, let me give him some credit. At least he tries to connect you with somebody who is at least
That's
knowledgeable.
True. Yeah, to get it on. He will.
Yeah,
he will.
So he wants to help you.
That's a skill set.
But honestly, it's a boundary at the same time.
Yeah.
It's realizing, hey, I don't have the capacity to be able to meet you at the moment. You know what I'm saying? To be able to assist you in the way that you want to be assisted. So I'm connecting you with someone who can potentially do that.
Right, because
and oftentimes it's me.
Yeah. I know a guy.
I know a guy.
So really just figuring out what it is that I want to do, like what I'm good at, honestly, to be, truly transparent, like where I'm more than 30,000, 50,000 foot view type of person. I operate way better with vision and structure than actually being in the weeds and the details. Like I'm not really good at that. It drives me crazy actually when I have to be in the weeds and the details and stuff. So just that's where the whole consulting thing came from. Kind of like making a small pivot. It's just ironic. The thing that is disrupting my career is probably the space where my skills translate the best, which is like AI and stuff like that. So probably just gonna move in that direction, like helping businesses implement AI and stuff into like their marketing strategies or different things like that.
That's cool. That's dope, man.
So at this point, to be honest with you, I feel like I'm just an entrepreneur. I don't see myself probably going back to work at this point. I think it's just time for me to bet on myself. Like in a lot of ways, I've kind of always flirted with the idea of having my own business, not necessarily needing to scale a company or nothing like that, but like working for myself, being in control of my time, who I want to work with, how I want to work, when I want to work, stuff like that. And the only real way to do that is to work for yourself. So
Very true.
I think it's time to kind of just bet on myself. I think for a long time I was feeling it. I wanted to do it, but wasn't really willing to make the jump because it was unfamiliar, to me, never done it before, not knowing where to start. Am I going to be successful? How am I going to handle these type of things? A lot of things, kind of to y'all's point of like, I don't necessarily need to figure out type of stuff, but sometimes you just get paralyzed by fear, thinking about it.
That's
whatever.
real.
So sometimes life puts you in a situation where you don't have no choice, and I think that's where I'm at right now, where I don't have a lot of choice. So, doing what I can, upskill, get up to speed, figure out what my next move is, but it's probably going to be the entrepreneurship route.
I love it.
And,
I
just
love
go
it.
for
I love it.
I love it. Now, my question for you: Did you feel support from people around you in your time of need?
Yes, I've been supported in ways I didn't even expect. Honestly, I think more so just because of that relationship with people, but because of how they know how diligent I am about my work and also just taking care of my family. So to see me dealing with that type of stuff when they know how much I waited, I think for them, it's also affecting them the same way that it's been affecting me, like to the point where they're just empathetic about my situation, to where they want to help me, whether that's, listening to me, trying to connect me with people, amount of people that's like, hey, I saw this, job, I got this person, let me, people trying to figure out the situation for me, friends listening to me, sitting with me. In a lot of ways, it's like affecting my pride because you want people to support you at the same time, but like, we always talk about like looking out for each other. Like if we go out to eat or something like that, like I might get it this time, next time you might get it or whatever. And I've been fine with that like all the time. But then now for some reason that I'm not working.
Don't worry about it. I got you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's,
Right.
like it's like people is like trying to buy my lunch or trying to do whatever, and it's affecting my pride at times because in my mind, I know they're not doing it because I don't like they care for me and they know the situation I'm in, so they're trying to lighten the burden. They're not trying to make fun of me by what I'm saying. It's no way like that, but it's like my pride is like I don't want you to do that because I want to be able to, so my pride working on me in some ways. Like I'm not trying to block them from blessing me, but I'm like, hey, don't buy my lunch, bro. But
I want to buy his lunch. You can buy mine.
So my Cash App is Troy Rashawn.
Yeah,
so
I'm learning.
Me?
I'm like that's why I've said it before. I feel like I'm learning a lot about myself in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And it's just been hard to deal with, realizing that I just don't accept help well because like we talked about, I'm not used to receiving help, so I'm also not used to really asking other people for help other than advice, like, am I tripping right now type of thing. But not like, hey, can you help me with this? Or like when I talked to Lace, like kind of being in a similar situation, making the shift to entrepreneurship from an unfortunate situation. Like old me wouldn't have been like, I could ask Lace, like, how did you do that? Like, what were the steps that you took? I would have just tried to figure it out by myself. But I think maturing and realizing like, I don't have all the answers. I at some point it's okay to lean on people who have been where you're trying to go.
For sure.
Yeah.
And kind of just, ask them. So in terms of just like support, I'll say, yeah, I've felt it, quite a bit, going through the whole situation.
Yeah. Yeah. I really feel you on that one, bro. Like learning more that you, not you, I'm talking about just the plural you. Like when you in those tough situations, one, you realize who your friends are. And then you also realize like, all right, I got to learn to put my pride down.
Yeah, that's real.
That is the toughest part because I pride myself on being prideful and being able to do things for my own. It's like, it's so funny when we were kids, we wanted so bad to do things on our own. No, don't do this for me. I got it. I can put my own ketchup on my hot dog. You know what I'm saying? Burger. You know what I'm saying? I can do it myself. I don't need you to, what I'm saying, whatever. And then as we grow up, we realize, hey, I actually kind of appreciated that a little bit, being taken care of. But then you still are, as a part of you, I want to do it by myself.
Yeah.
And then you realize that we're not here to do everything by ourselves.
Right, and that's definitely a lesson to learn, because wanting to do it by yourself is cool. You can, and the thing is, you can still do it. But I just got you this time.
Right,
you can still do it.
Right.
So it's just like I said, it's flipping the system of how we think and how we process. Because you could have many more meals you could be able to buy yourself. I got it this time.
I got it this time.
So, but yeah, that's something that we.
That is a great way. Look at it in the bigger perspective.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna buy myself 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 more meals.
Yeah, it ain't gonna hurt you to get 2 for me. It ain't gonna hurt you.
It ain't gonna hurt you. It ain't gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna hurt me as the receiver. It ain't gonna hurt you as the person who is given. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my pride was working on me for real. At that time, and I think subconsciously, I was just dealing with like grief in a sense. I feel like I was grieving. Some people talk about grief, but it's always from the lens of like losing a person, like losing.
Grief is
losing a relationship. But you could grieve situations. Like, you could
for sure.
So I was going through something, and like one day, I was real like I said, like panicked and worried. Like, all right, what's my next move? What's my plan? And then almost like immediate shift, I went from that to like anger, like all in the same like few couple minutes. And I'm like, something wrong with me, yo. So I was like, got on the GPT and was like, what are the stages of grief? Like what are the stages of grief? And literally everything that I was I was on step 3 of 5 basically. Like
check all the boxes,
like of grief.
Check
and I was
all
like,
the boxes.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, so it's like, so I'm like, oh, I'm not tripping. Like I'm actually grieving like the situation, like a situation, and like working through that stuff in my mind, like a feeling like just loss, but also like rejection type of thing. Like this is the second time this year that I've been like, what's wrong with me? Like, am I smart as I think I am? Am I really skilled to do this? Like, why do I keep getting chosen for, the situation, whatever, when my output looks different, or something like that. So it's just like also that feeling of rejection that you can have as well. And I don't think at the time that I was really aware of what was going on. And Sharita had to get me straight. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my wife. I talk about her, but I don't talk about her in this way like I'm about to do right now. But like shout out to her, because I was just in my grief, I was joking and didn't know that I might actually be speaking truth about what I was feeling in that moment. And it was like the day after I had got laid off, the game was coming on, and the guys was talking about watching the game, like y'all trying to get up and watch the game, blah blah blah. And everybody was like, Mel, we by your crib, you trying to watch the game at your crib, whatever. And in my joking, I was like, all right, yeah, let me go check with Sharita first, because I ain't got no job right now. I got to go ask if y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, joking about like, let me go ask, permission or whatever. So I wasn't thinking nothing of it, So I go upstairs, to Sharita, she on the phone. I'm like, hey, I ain't got no job right now, so I'm coming to ask you permission. Like, is it okay if the guys come, watch the game? I was joking. I'm like, I ain't got no job, so I got to ask you permission, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I got to ask about that once you finish.
No, for real. It was like, and she went back like, what you talking about? Like, kind of just like she got offended by what I was saying, but I didn't realize it at the moment. And she had to like pull me in later, like to like honest conversation. Like I'm like, what's up? She like, hey, I don't appreciate how you was talking about yourself earlier today.
Right, tighten up. Shout out Rita.
She no, for real. Like she legit was like, I don't appreciate how you were talking about yourself earlier today. And I was like, what you mean? She was like, the whole thing about asking permission for the guys to come over to watch the game, blah blah blah. She was like, I don't appreciate how you was talking like that. She was like, I don't want to hear you talking like that. She was like, I know you lost a job, whatever. She was like, but don't ever think that my perception of you
is based upon
as a
that.
man is
That
based
is
on,
not
you
your.
know what I'm saying? It's like,
And that's real spill.
ladies.
That's hey, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
No, but it was just like, She was like, don't ever think that my perception of you has changed just because you lost it. You know what I'm saying?
You were so
lost
much
this
more than
job,
that.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
basically, you know
so
what I'm
much
saying?
more than that.
What she was saying, and you know, she adjusted my crown. You know, like in that moment, she, you know, spoke to me, but also spoke into me about, you know, what we were dealing with, and it gave me a different like energy about the situation. Like
yeah,
about,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying, about just everything, you know what I'm saying, that was going on. And like she's talked to me before, but she's never really like called something out in me, like, you know what I'm saying, like that. So
Shout
it's just
out to
like,
Rita, man.
yeah,
for
shout out
calling
my
that
baby,
out.
man. Shout out my baby for being real.
Yeah, shout out.
You know, for being there and not just.
I think too, some of it is, and just from what I know of you a jelly bean in a lot of ways. Like this hard exterior, but inside, like you have a lot. You have the things that we all navigate, whether it's around confidence, whether it's around wanting to provide and give and all that kind of stuff. But one thing that I always tell people, even when I went through my situation, my identity is not that thing.
It's not.
We are so much more than a job and a paycheck. And I mean, granted, we have to have those things, and you'll do your thing appropriately with, you know, with your pivot and next steps. But so many people put their identity in a thing like a job.
Yeah, yeah.
And until we start kind of thinking differently of ourselves, reminding ourselves who we are and whose we are, et cetera, like that stuff is that's just a bump in the road. You know what I'm saying? That does not define what the rest of your year go look like, next year, how you go move forward in any capacity. So that's solid that she was able to pull you in and call you out on that self-doubt type energy that was being given. So I can appreciate that being brought to your attention for sure.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, whether you had a job or not had a job, you still should have asked your wife if you could have friends over at the crib.
I do be, but that's why I feel like I was joking, because I do be like, hey, do you care if such and such come by the crib?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's
you know,
cool.
so I do be saying it, but that's why I'm saying,
cool.
like, I was joking, but maybe in my joke, I was
nah.
actually being, you know, internally.
And that's why I said earlier,
whatever
the things that we say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you verbally say that over and over again, you're going to start doubting yourself.
You're going
to start like, yo, is something wrong with me? This, that. Nah, that's just one chapter that closed. Now it's time to write another chapter, whatever that may look like. And I know for me, like I've always been told, like, yo, you think different when it comes to stuff like that. Like the worst thing could happen, like, oh, I'll bounce back. It'll be cool. But just like Hustlers used to say, I could lose it all today, but I gotta get back. Like, so it's a way to format our system 2 thinking, because that's really what it is, system 2, to get out of that system 1 mindset.
I think I stressed more about your situation than you did about your own situation. I was like,
hey, I don't have a problem going to work at Target, flipping a brick, whatever. Like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. We gonna eat.
We gonna eat. And I think
eat.
that helped me navigate your situation, how he handled his situation.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, first of all, just knowing that your situation happened and then you was all right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But in that moment, I didn't know you was gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have hired you. But you end up, I mean, it ended up working out for your good.
For sure. And the crazy thing is, the same thing that the individual that I was dealing with at the time was worried about has directly happened to them in another capacity, and they going through it right
That's
now.
wild.
So when I hear like people talking about, yeah, you know, such and such dealing with this, hey, I mean, hey,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You was worried about the wrong thing.
It is what it is.
You worried about the wrong thing.
So taking the learning pieces that I learned from you, I was applying them to Mel, and I was like, I'm not going to stress. Am I concerned? Absolutely. But am I stressing? No.
Nah.
I think Melvis is going to be all right. He's going to come out on the other end. The question for me was like, how can I help him know that part? You know what I'm saying? It's like, as the friends who are in the, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I don't do well with friends struggling. I don't know why. And I didn't realize that. I realized this probably back in 2017. my sister's mom passed away. I didn't know that was someone that close passing away was news to me. You know what I'm saying? Like to have someone that normally people who pass away, it was like, all right, we saw that coming type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But her mom passed away. I didn't know what to do. And my sister, she called me out on that joint. She was like, you didn't call, you didn't check in, you didn't do any of the things. And I was like, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. And I learned from that situation. Sometimes you don't have to say or do. You just got to show up. You know what I'm saying?
You just got to show up.
And so like I've learned that in these situations, like I just got to press in. You know what I'm saying? And I have made more phone calls pressing in the past month that I have made in the past 10 years. Because I don't be on no phone. Especially talking to nobody on the phone. But but I was calling Mel. I know you was probably annoyed with me. I hope you won't.
Nah,
but you know what I'm saying? But I was calling Mel. I was calling my other boy who lost his job. My best friend who lost his parents. I was just trying to be intentional because the last thing I want to do is for my friends to go through and not know that they have a support system. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you think that it's like you already know that I'm here be your support system, but I need to see it though. I know it, but I need to see it.
Yeah, that's one thing that one of our frat brothers told me the last time that we had a loss within the frat. He was like, "Yo, Lace, you just always show up." He was like, "We might not talk for for months, like just a check in here, there, whatever." Yeah. But he was like, "It's just," and that's really a part of it, knowing that you can be there for somebody in their time of mourning or their situation that they're navigating. And it looks different for everybody, but the willingness to at least show up, show some empathy, and if you are, it can be a resource, be that resource, whatever that may look like, but yeah, everybody navigating and dealing with something. I think too, one thing that jumped out to me, Mel, in regards to your pivoting and your next step in this journey called life, is I'm sure you will be more cognizant of, because the last time it happened, like you was back on like in a week.
Yeah, which is crazy,
right? Which is crazy, but now I think there is a mindfulness of, is this next thing gonna be the right fit for me?
Yeah.
And everything has a learning outcome and an opportunity, and I think that's probably going to be what stands out to you the most. It's like, this going to be the right fit, because everything ain't the right fit, although it did check a box for you at the time.
At the time,
you know what I'm saying? So sometimes we got to go through an additional pruning process to find the right fit.
It's wild that you said that, because I literally just said that to Sharita and also my boy Tay, just talking about the situation, about feeling like maybe that last thing wasn't really the thing that I was supposed to be doing, but because the door opened so fast,
you walked right through it.
I just walked right through it because of that probably internal worry about like it not being able to provide. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, I'm just going to jump in, a door open, I'm going to walk right through it, because it's going to check that box. So maybe had I been a little bit more cautious, I still probably could have ended up that way, but it's just like, maybe if I had taken that extra step, or sometimes waiting to see before just jumping into something, I could have be in a different situation. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that was the root cause of it. And I think part of like a lot of what you're saying recently about just like feel like I'm beating myself up, or self-doubt, or different things like that, is just like, legitimately, I am just, as a whole, just in a place that I've never been in before.
Yeah.
So I'm literally trying to learn how to be a new version of myself, because y'all know me. Doubt wasn't never a thing with me. Like I was so confident to the point that I was borderline arrogant, to where a lot of people didn't even want to be around me because they couldn't stand the fact that I was so self-confident, or whatever it was, and just all other stuff about me, not just that, but just a bunch of things. Anytime something came up, it was like, I don't care. Like I know what I'm gonna get it done. Like I know what to do. Like I walk into any room, blah blah. Like I wasn't worried about nothing, or anxiety, stress. Like those things weren't even in my lexicon of words, because
lexicon.
I'm using Lace's joint because I didn't like. Of course, I've had anxious moments, but I've never really dealt with like anxiety, stress, because those things to me were like, all right, whatever. I kind of had the same approach. So a lot of the things that helped me get to where I am right now aren't the things that are helping me sustain right now. So it's like all of that has kind of been stripped away from me. My
Gotta pull the
environment,
layers
my
back.
people,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just everything about me has changed to the point where it's like a lot of the frustration that I have is because at one point I could have done what you're telling me to do. I could have just been confident. I could have just not, had self-doubt or like low talk about myself or different things like that. So now, like, imagine being someone who is so overly confident to the point where you're just arrogant to now at times feeling like you don't even know who you are as a person,
Yeah.
and you're trying to figure that out. And people are looking at you like, just pick yourself. Pick yourself. You like, I'm trying.
I'm
trying.
trying.
Trying. And so it's like I'm learning how to find like new tools. So it's like everything that I'm saying I'm going through is like trying to figure out a new way.
Yeah. So that goes back to those questions that I mentioned in the previous episode. Who am I? Who do I want to be? All those kind of things. Like truly asking yourself that, because for me, knowing you, this is just my internal thought that who you were, who you presented as, that was never you. If that makes sense. Obviously, we all have a certain level of confidence.
Yeah.
But how the braggadocious way of putting that in the atmosphere, I don't know if that was ever really you. So the question is, who are you?
Who are you?
As you are rediscovering yourself? Because we evolve, we change, and I think you're just going through that process. But truly sitting down and asking yourself those questions, I think it could shed some light on who you are, where you want to go, and who you want to truly be, for real. And that's something that can be tough within itself. But I've learned that Melvin is a jelly bean, and Troy is a Disney character, because he think everything gonna be fine.
Whimsical.
Happily ever after. You know what's funny? The losing, I was just contemplating if the losing of the first job afforded you the opportunity to know that you would be provided for, and losing the second time, you know that you will be provided for, and now you're afforded the possibility to navigate and to explore who I am now.
It's a process, right?
Yeah.
So for that season, that could have been what it was.
Yeah.
Now it is. I need you to walk into another season of this self-awareness from a lens of I was provided for, and I know I will be provided for.
I will be provided
and
for.
now I can
Yeah.
kick down these next doors.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
real, man.
Lace played bass one time at a worship service.
He do.
And he probably only played like 3 strings.
Nah, man. Nah. First of all, I have a 6-string bass. Ibanez 445, so don't play with me. I do this thing for real. We played a 2-hour set straight. 2-hour set straight. So, yeah. Don't do that.
It amazes me the
Don't do
talents
that.
that Lace have. I
Don't
never
do
would
that.
have thought he
I
was
amaze
a
myself
bass player.
sometimes.
A
That's
bass
what I be
player.
telling you, late.
I amaze myself sometimes. But it's not me. He's using me. He's using
Lace, come on, man.
He's using
Come on,
me.
man. Chill, Lace. Chill, man.
Chill what? Come on, Pastor
Because
Troy.
I don't know how to receive it sometimes.
He's
You know what I'm
using
saying?
me.
Because I know he is, but also at the same time,
How
it's
you mad he using me?
Lace, I've heard you say some of the most outlandish things ever before. So I heard you say
That's
some
the
of
gag. He's using me.
Lace has said some of the most outlandish things that make you not even think he know who Jesus
He is until he say something.
Until he say, and now he's saying something. I'm like, now come on now.
Hey, he's using me.
That'd be the funny part. So, what do you do when your plan is not planning? What do you do?
You focus on
when
the
life
planner.
is smack you in the face.
Focus on the planner, brother.
Focus on the planner.
That's it. You're not the planner.
Focus on the planner. Lower your pride.
Mm-hmm.
Pivot.
Maybe,
Like I know we often talk in like biblical principles and stuff like that. But if you just really look at when Christ was developing his church and all that, for one, we never think about his process, right? So he started building out the church in his 30s.
Mm.
So we never think about from 1 to 30 something
Yeah,
when he
yeah,
started
yeah.
building out his church. But even then, when if he was in our midst today and was like, drop everything and follow me, how many of us would actually do that?
That joint be tough, bro.
Be tough, right? Because of pride, because of self-doubt. What am I gonna do? This, that, and the third. But in reading and understanding how he told them to travel to various cities, find somebody who was willing to let you stay at their house. Staying at their house, eating their food, to push a message, right? So why is that so hard for us to simply accept the fact that he's going to open the doors for us and provide provision for us
I hate to
along
say
the
this.
way? That's the
I hate to say this.
discipleship,
That
man.
was ICDC Module 1.
University of Phoenix.
Level
that's real, though.
100
Like,
Model
for real.
1.
And
We
I
never
mean,
think
it's
about
real.
that.
It's
We never
really
think
real.
about that.
It's really real.
We think about all the stuff, right? All the things that am I not gonna be able to do this or not that. Not speaking specifically on you. I'm just saying in general, Mel, because I had to go do this myself. But like, yo, all this
And Lace is
And
back.
then Laces
I told you, Lace is back.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, like, for real. Like, we never think about the things that because he ain't even asked us to do none of that stuff.
He didn't. He didn't.
Low key.
You right.
So what I'm saying is the fact that that's not required of us, but
Yeah.
yet he still accepts us and looks out for us simply from believing in.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. I ain't got nothing to worry about, man. I'm good.
Mm.
I'm good.
You're not wrong.
The concept of taking on a childlike faith
But
is
legit.
what I've been
Legit.
what I've been trying to grab a hold of.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
a hard concept. Not to think of yourself as a child, because all of us are someone's child.
Yeah, yeah.
And I try to look at the lens of, someone mentioned, childlike faith to me recently, and it was just the concept, like thinking, like, all right, look at your kids. They just walking around the house. They ain't got no worries.
Oblivious.
Yeah.
No cares in the world. They open the pantry. It's food there. They go. They know they can just come and ask you for stuff. Like, they literally have no worries in the world because they have this childlike faith of my dad is going
Go provide.
I'm saying? My dad is going to take care of it, or my dad is.
Talk to your
I'm saying?
daddy.
So it's just
hey,
like,
did you talk to your daddy?
This cat lace, man.
Daddy.
So it's just like,
Did you talk to your daddy?
get into the space of developing like childlike faith.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's real.
Coming into a space where I'm like, all right, I should learn or be able to rest in this enough to know that I should have the faith of a child. Like, he's gonna take care of it. Like, I don't have to, worry about that type of thing. And God has, or whatever. And since we talking about it now, which this is not the direction that I was gonna go, which is, I think that a lot of my moves up until this moment in just like recent years have been led by fear. Like, most of them have been like fear-based decisions or fear-based choices, because like I've said, like, it wasn't my idea to move to Charlotte. Like, that wasn't like that wasn't in my cards of things to do.
You saying Charlotte was a fear move?
Not a fear move, but it was like me stepping
to
out.
do something.
Like, I had to do.
Oh,
Like, I had
gotcha.
to do something.
My plan.
My
Gotcha.
plan was to go in another direction. But I knew I needed to do something. But God just kept closing doors everywhere else but Charlotte. So it was like, all right, that's where you're pushing me. That's where I'm going. But it was still like an unfamiliar place. I had to learn the city, learn the environment, learn the people, being there. So it's like my foundation is gone, because what I was able to lean on, like community and stuff like that, it's like, all right, I got a couple friends here, but I still have to learn a new space. I got to transition my kids. My wife has to transition, like all these things, happening, being just really in a, like I said, in a not a wilderness, but a wilderness, because it's like it's unfamiliar to you. So not having a foundation, not knowing the environment, not knowing kind of how to move and shake, what levers I can pull, different things, at times put me in like a space of worry, and then getting here and stuff not kind of shaping up the way that you thought, or like you start running into challenges, you start feeling like, well, should I have come here? Like, well, it was like, why would you send me here to put me in tribulation or whatever?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You could have just left me where I was or something, something like that. So then you start, like I said, like feeling fear or not, doing certain, things or whatever. Where I started getting to the point where I was feeling like that old impoverished kid that had to hold on to everything. When we you know we talking about poverty mindset, like I got to hold on to everything because I don't know if I'm gonna lose it and not get it back. So then I started operating differently. You know what I'm saying? I started not necessarily living the way I wanted to live because I was worried about different type of things like, oh well, this is new to me. I don't got nothing to fall back on, so I can't do that. I gotta so it was just like a lot of fear-based choices, a lot of worry about different things, even to the point where like I used to be a tither. Like I used to tithe, like no problem. I would just tithe. Sunday come up, cool, bet, put my little, I wouldn't even think nothing of it. When my check come in, I like, hey, I know this off the top, this is what I got left. I just like, all right. And then I got to a point where I was even fearful to do that. Like I'm not even going to tithe no more, because if I give up this money, you know what I'm saying, is it going to come back to me or whatever. And earlier this year, I just was like, all right, well, I'm tired of living in fear about the situation. So it's like, the Bible says this is the only time in the Bible where God says to prove me or to try me, in a sense where he's like, give me your tithe, and he'll return it back to me, pressed down, shaking together, and running over in a room where I shall have not room enough to receive. So it's just like, try me, basically saying like, give me your money and I will make sure that you taken care of, type of thing. So I knew that, but I won't live in it. So then I just was like, all right, well, fine, I'm gonna try you. I'm gonna trust you with it. So I started tithing again. As soon as I did it, I lost my job. I lost, I lost my job. Like stuff started happening to us around the house where I, started having to dip into savings or do different things. And it was just like, all right, this thing that I was trusting you with, or this thing that you told me to do, now it look like it's working backwards. Like what do you do when your fears just smack you in the face? The thing that you was afraid of, you step out to have faith, and then it happens to you. And you like, and then you start feeling like, well, this is exactly what I was. But this exactly, so it's just like that the reason why I'm getting to that is because I feel like in this one thing that I've been able to rest in since I've been not taking Lace's advice, but following after Lace and trying to be intentional about being in the Word, is like at this stage of my life, I feel like what God is trying to show me is that even without the stuff that you thought you needed, I can take care of your, situation. Like part of the reason I was stressed out about the job was because I thought I was going to lose it. And what was I going to do if I lost it? And now it's like, he like, well, I'm going to let that pass so that you can see that so even without it, you know what I'm saying? So like, even without it, I'm going to be able to take care of,
and
you know what I'm saying,
up.
Your situation, or, come into your situation, different things like that. And, talking to my pastor, who's also my friend, is explaining to him the situation. And he's like, what is the number that you need to get through the rest of the year? Like, what is the number that you need? I'm like, I don't know. I ain't done blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, take time to figure out what the number is that you need, because it might not be that bad. Like it might not, or whatever. I was like, all right, cool. So the other night I'm sitting there going through the numbers, doing whatever. I'm like, all right, well, we got money sitting right here. We got this money in savings. We got this, money coming here, blah, blah, blah. And I write down all the expenses for the rest of the year. And by the time I got done with it, at the bottom of the paper,
surplus.
I was plus
surplus.
I was plus almost 15,000.
Right.
With no job. I'm talking literally on paper. And in some instances, I inflated the expenses because I'm trying to overestimate. I'm trying to I was almost plus 15,000 at the end of the year from today without having the job. And I'm looking at that paper.
And you like, I'm an idiot.
I'm not like I'm an idiot, but I'm sitting there looking at the paper like, this is my tithe. This is my faith. This is where it went to. Like this is the try me. This is the prove me. This is the whatever. So it was like, even in that, you know what I'm saying, situation, is growing and learning.
Hey, I'm gonna tell my mama to watch this episode, because she gonna be like, hey, y'all on this.
Hey, Mama Lace,
y'all on this.
It's y'all on this. So I think that's where I am, and I think those are the little things that have helped me to calm down, but also still having that same fear of like stepping out on your own. Like, all right, like it's just me now. Like figuring out entrepreneurship. That's a lane I've never done, you know what I'm saying, before in a way. So it's like taking those steps, trying to get the confidence, through those things with the self-talk and stuff. So I just, he's doing his thing. He's doing his work. He's supplying, he's providing. I think like seriously, and this was not what we were supposed to be talking about, but I just feel like I don't think that my lack of faith or trust was in God himself. I just didn't trust his plan. I didn't trust the plan that he had for me because it didn't and doesn't look like how I wanted it to happen.
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So because
you have
his
it.
plan looks different than what I wanted or expected, it's been hard for me to relinquish control of what it is that I'm trying to do, because like we said, we be trying to avoid suffering, pain, and struggle. And the path that you taking me on look like, trial, tribulation, pain, and struggle. I'm like, I'm not trying to do that. So you start to feel like I'm not trying to do that. So I had to realize, like, just be honest. Like, is it you that I'm not trusting, or is it the plan? And it's like, I trust you, but this plan you trying to, take me through.
Right.
I'm not really, so it's just like really trying to get to that point that y'all are talking about, where it's like just surrendering. It's like, all right, cool. And I think I'm getting there like day by day, like learning how to, relinquish.
It takes time, missteps, all the things, right? But one thing that my pastor said not long ago was take the first step and let courage catch up along the way. Get out of that
Oh
fear.
my gosh, that's a bar.
Take the first step, let courage catch up along the way. So, because as you go through this, you have built muscle around
Yeah.
what this looks like, because now you had a worry or a fear. You did an exercise, and now you say, okay, now I'm to the good. Okay, now I may be exploring this. Well, now I know that all things work
together.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But take the first step, let courage catch up along the way.
Lace, since you got your phone, can you do me a favor? Can you go to the book of Joshua?
What you want? King James?
Chapter
you want
1.
NIV? What you want?
King James is the fire version of this.
All right.
That
You
I'm
want
looking
chapter
for.
1, verse 9.
You said
Chapter
Joshua?
1, Joshua 1, chapter 1, verse 9.
Golly, all these updates.
This how I know you don't be opening it up like that. Like
Bible.
No,
that.
I'm in this every day, brother. You ain't going.
No, but the Bible, when I open it up, when I open up the app, sometimes I'm like, hey, get all this stuff out the way.
Yeah.
Take me to
Stop
where I'm
asking me
trying
to
to
rate
get
the
to.
Bible. Yes, I like it.
Yes, I like it.
Stop asking me to rate
And
it.
that's exactly what it had. You said Joshua 1.
Joshua
1 and
9.
1-9.
Have I not commanded ye?
Mm.
Be strong and of a good
courageous.
courage.
Mm.
Be not afraid, neither
nor
be
dismayed.
thou dismayed. For the Lord thy
your
God is with
will
thee
you
wherever
you go.
you go.
I think that's a great verse to pray over our brother Melvin with,
Yeah, man.
and all of us at this time.
Yes, sir.
And we hope that verse also applies to you all too. Be encouraged, for the Lord thy God is with you. It's been your boy Troy, Life Coach Lace,
Yeah.
Melly Mel. It's the Manly D's podcast.
We out.
That was good.
That was good.
Today was fun, man. Today was fun. What it do, though? It's your boy, Dr. Life Coach Lace, a.k.a. NBA Old Boy, a.k.a. I'm him, a.k.a. the menace no relation to Dennis. Look, stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin. We need you to stop what you're doing right now. Subscribe to the potty. We know you love listening to us. We bring a lot of great content, great conversation, a lot of fun, jovial conversation across the board. So tap in with us. Make sure after you subscribe, please like, so that we can showcase that you care, that we care for you, and that we bring in the heat to everything that we do. So lock in with us, Manly D's podcast. Share it with your entire community, your entire network, because we bringing the real to the real.